Yo, ladies and gentlemen, today in this video here I'm doing a reaction to, I believe it's to do with Sony cancelling physical discs according to 2028, yeah, that's what they've come out saying, that now they're not doing any more physical discs. And as a gamer, bro, growing up in the 2000s, that is very sad, very heartbreaking to me, like, because I grew up, my dad had a PS1, so that was in the family when I was, before I was even born, he was playing that, the Crash Bandicoot, used to play Twisted Metal 2, Wipeout, the Medal of Honor, Crash Bandicoot, I think I just said that, but Spyro, a few other games as well, and yeah, and then the PS2 came out, and I was maybe, like 5, 6, at the time, and yeah, it was just, actually, no, I would have been even how old would I have been? But yeah, it was a long time ago, very long time ago, and so to me, I grew up going down to the Blockbuster and hiring out movies, getting fish and chips on a Friday, and hiring out video games, and seeing the game cases with the actual manual and the art on the disc and all that, it's just something about it, that drew me to those things as a kid, and just the art style, and the studios were made games for people like me, so that's what I mean. It was so good, all up to 2010 and below, that was just peak, PS3 and below, before, the internet got too evolved, and those were the good years, man. That's when people were still outdoors, they played games, PS2 and PS1 were just so good, that was what brought people to the TV, it's what brought people together, but then you went away and done your own separate things. It's not like you go away, now you're on phones, and just being a bot, like most people, whereas back then those games were actually, they were fun, they meant something, like Spy vs Spy, Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter, Sly Raccoon, that's just a fair few. There's so many games, so many games, but let's watch this. So this is, apparently everyone should hate this, so I'm presuming, because it had a picture of Sony, the Sony label, and apparently Sony said that with the game, so I'm presuming it's this, but let's watch and I'll react. Peace.
Around to witness the extinction of the dinosaurs, nor was I there to see the death of the final saber-toothed tiger. But boy howdy, I am lucky enough to be here to witness the extinction of physical games.
I'm right. See, I'm so right. I'm sorry for, what do you call it, dribbling along there in the intro, but yeah, I knew it. And yes, this ticks me off, bro. I'm fully with Charlie on, this is outrageous, bro. Pisses me off deeply.
Swear, Sony treats physical media the same way the Men in Black treated people that witnessed alien activity. Get the neuralizer out. Look here. No such thing as this. There's only digital. They have now just driven the final stake in the vampire's heart, the evil menace known as physical media. They have announced that they are ending physical production in January 2028 for new games releasing on PlayStation consoles. For those that don't know, this means there will never be a physical disc for a PlayStation game, even if it's not a first-party title, because in order to even have a physical game on Sony's platform, it has to go through Sony. Thus, there will no longer be that green light, that thumbs up that lets you make a disc for their platforms. It is only digital going forward. There is only Zool. It's unhinged insanity, because this comes only days after Sony just pulled over 500 movies from customers' accounts that they paid for while offering...
Ooh, what the hell? I just seen it on Facebook, not too long ago. It's actually today, but I didn't know if that was true or not, but after seeing what's going on, yeah, that's very bad. Bro, I'm a Sony fanboy. Well, I used to be, up until 2010, I love the PlayStation, I've still got my dad's PS1 in the box, the box, the box is mint condition, that's what I'm saying, still got a PS2 Fat, I've got a PS2 Slim, I've still got my old CRT TV, I've got all my games still as a young kid, I've got the Buzz, I've got it all. I haven't gotten rid of it, and I knew this was going to happen. as a young kid, I always had, because they want you on subscriptions, they want you just to be a bot. That's basically what it is. And if you can't, if you take offense to what I'm saying, then you should just leave. Don't ever watch. Don't ever talk to me in real life. I'm just saying, because it's deep. It's just absurd that this is happening. Even movies, I remember good old movies and stuff. Yes, the whole point of the PS2, man. That bad boy became the DVD player as well as a gaming machine. It was everything, and what was good about the OG consoles and the TVs, even my dad nowadays finds trouble with his modern TV. It's got a smart TV. They're not that smart. It's got to get connected to the internet, and you can stream, Freeview. But Freeview's crap, He misses the old rabbit tears, those days. That's what I mean. You just plug it in, push the on button, and it works. It's the same with the PlayStation. You plug it all in, you turn it on, and it all works. There's no updating controller, there's no updating this, there's no updating that. You put your disc in, you own that shit, And deep down, I don't really care what people say about, It's personally, if I brought the game, it's my game. If I want to burn discs and do whatever and sell them and make a bit of side hustle to the bros, well, you really should be able to. I get they've done the hard work and programmed the game, but I mean, it's the whole point of owning it physical. Deep down, it is yours. You can resell it, even if you don't burn games and all that. Like back in the day, you can, well, at least now with my cartridges and Nintendo Game Boy cartridges to Switch cartridges, you can all resell that. All my PS2 games, they've got a market out there still. So.
No refunds for it. So customers had 500 movie titles that have now just fizzled into the ether, into the fucking back rooms, and Sony says, suck our dick. You don't even get your money back. So you paid for limited access to these films. You rented them fundamentally, even though you were under the impression that you were buying them and owning them. But because of this digital landscape, you don't own anything. You are paying for a ticket that gives you access for a set amount of time, depending on the companies or depending on the licensing. The movies are getting pulled because of a licensing issue with Studio Canal, but it's Sony's platform, and now all the customers that wasted their clams on it have nothing to show for it. It's just a void. It's blank now. You will own nothing and be happy, and Sony shamelessly makes...
Is exactly, well, that's what they're trying to do. See what he just said, that you will own nothing and be... That's what, governments want with you and your life as well. Go to work, be under the influence of AI and surveillance, and go to work and live in a freaking a cube room with maybe a bed on it, and you go there, you pay, you do nothing, and you're building up someone's random world. What's the cause? None of you question that, and that's a really deep thing, none of you question that. You just get told by older people, yep, this is what it's for, and it's for your own benefit, and none of you question it. It's crack up bunch of sheep, It's the same with this physical people should be standing up against it. Should be up in arms, even over a physical disc, bro. This is retarded.
This announcement.
I'm only 2 minutes through and I've been yapping. I'm only 2 minutes through, sorry to pause, and I'm just ranting. This is what I mean. This is a fired up topic, but let's continue.
Announcing that they're shutting down the PSN store for PlayStation 3 and PS Vita, meaning hundreds, if not thousands, of digital games that existed on those platforms are now gone forever and not preserved because there wasn't physical copies of them. They were just digital titles there. So they are genuinely right in your face, hitting fucking Fortnite emotes on that ass, laughing and goatsing in front of you, showing yeah, you will own nothing and be happy. Look, we just took down this store, revoking your access to these games that you paid for. They're gone, Buster, and there's nothing you can do about it, Slime. Not even the Dragon Balls could wish these back into existence. Shinron is powerless against PlayStation. But let's not get too rambunctious off rip. Maybe they've got a really good reason for it. In response to shifting trends in consumer preference, new games will be released on PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. Oh, shifting trends. You mean how when GTA just announced with no physical edition, people were rightfully fuming, pointing out how awful that is in light of everything that's happened in this industry, where you can just have your access to the things you purchased revoked at any point in time. So if you don't have something physical, you literally own nothing. You own the idea of something. It's imagination. SpongeBob and Patrick in the Box imagining that they own their games right now when it's digital only. So if anything, the shifting trend in consumer preference is swinging back the other way to preferring physical media because of how bad this whole digital only shit has been.
Yeah. And I can say as well, one of my mates, he's got an Xbox, and he's lost all his game part, like he's game shared his account and whatever, and has now been like hacked out or whatever, and yeah, loses all his games. This is what I mean. This stuff you can't trust it. And then for older people like my dad, who actually like was the pioneers of the gaming scene, and then my generation and stuff, like well. Yeah, like what happened? It was like what made PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2? It was arcade. It felt like an arcade game at your home, and that's what was the beauty of it. It was a game. It's not trying to be so cinema like a movie. It's not trying to, be something it's not. It's just a game. It was fun. It was a little, it was released. It was cheap. Anyone could do it. Anyone could set it up and use the console. Yeah, I remember coming, because my dad, at least a funny story, he brought me he brought me Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal and Ratchet and Clank Locked and Loaded, And as a young kid, because I played Ratchet 3 with my mates, I was like, I don't want Ratchet 3. But anyways, I come back to check, like one day I booted in Ratchet 2, and like I checked the memory card, and like I already see a save file. He's like halfway through the game. This is what I mean. I was like, damn. So, it's my dad playing Ratchet and Clank too. And he's, how old would he be now? 63. So that's what I mean. That's the thing. It's all crazy how it's all changed. I think I just really want people to wake up. I really do. Like not even to just like discs, like digital, but just in life as a whole. It's so much more than what you've been taught in the schooling system. It's crack up. You're all just walking robots.
As consumer preferences and the broader entertainment industry continue to shift away from physical disc to digital, physical game disc production for all new games releasing on PlayStation consoles will be discontinued in January of 2028. Also, again, a load of barnacles, this is horseradish, people are wanting more physical now. Like, for me personally, I've been a big advocate of physical media for at least like the last year and a half, if not 2 years, because of this trend that we've been seeing of just losing access to what you've spent money on. You're buying nothing. You are not buying anything. And they're just dangling their dicks right in front of our faces. Ubisoft unapologetically said consumers need to get more comfortable not owning their games. Like,
what?
How can you possibly...
Wait, what? Who the hell? Like, how can you say that, bro? You're the company that you came to us with a product at first. Here's the PlayStation. And here's the games, and you get to take this home and play. That's the whole point. Otherwise, bring back the arcades like the old days or whatever. That's what I mean. We were fine with books, arcade, going outside, and games and movies were just a little icing on the top. Like, wow, Friday, let's go play a game. It's just say to have the audacity from a big company like that to even like say something like that is just absurd. I think yeah. If you agree with Sony, you really should look at check yourself. You were just a freaking seasy, greasy, snotty, grutty person deep down. That's what I think.
Be supportive of this, and people aren't. Like I said, I think the preference is shifting away from digital in light of wanting more physical. Following this date, new games will be available on PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. This transition has no impact on games that already released or will be releasing prior to January 2028 in disc format. Also, something worth noting, this doesn't, they're saving a lot of money on not making physical games anymore, but it's not going to reflect in the pricing. The games are still going to be $70, $80 games.
Yeah, that's the thing. Just because they got to, it costs money to put games on a disc and all that, and the cartridge or whatever they got to do, so... it's all about money. It's all just money. The fact people are so brainwashed over something that just gets printed out, by a reserved bank just cracks me up, eh? It's hilarious, I mean, I know we need it all to live, but it's just bullcrap, It's just bullshit,
So, you're still getting slapped around with the pricing. It's not like this is going to bring down the cost of a now spiraling out of control industry. This is a natural direction for Sony Interactive Entertainment to adapt to consumer trends as the general preference for digital media significantly outpaces physical discs. This transition will enable us to align more closely with how most of our community prefers to access and play games today. We'll continue to prioritize our resources to drive innovation on how players can access games and provide choices as to where players prefer to purchase new games. Whether that's at retailers or the PlayStation Store, we remain committed to delivering a world-class gaming experience to our fans, and we thank you for your continued support. Hey, pal.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by
yeah.
thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
You just blew in from Stupid Town. If you are a digital-only platform, why the fuck would anyone choose you over Steam? Like, genuinely. You have a worse store.
That is a very good point, actually, what Charlie just said there. Why would anyone choose the Sony store over Steam? Even the Xbox store over Steam. Like, Steam took a long time to get people's trust too. Like, they worked with community back in the day. Like, you can't forget about the origins. Like, at first, people were fuming about Steam. Like not liking it. Like, oh, you don't even feel like you own the games. But it's the same with like their trading and the loot box system on Steam. But people like they've after the years, like, Valve has earned the people's trust slowly, like it's been a big it's been a big build up, whereas you can't just do this as like Sony. Like, you've been a physical releasing company like all my whole life, essentially. Like, I'm 24, but ever since I was a young kid, all the way. Like, even I would thought it was sloppy when they, like on PS4 when you just get, like, I remember the new Ratchet and Clank when that came out, the reboot, for example. Well, you get the disc in the case, and there's maybe like a little bit of like a pamphlet manual that looks like it's something with a code on it, but it's not. It's just like, something. They're just lazy. They don't even make manuals for the games, and even back then I was damn. So up to PS3 and below was the best. The games came with the cover art, get the game and the menu. And yeah, it was just a good time to be alive back then, man. Like, honestly, though, it's just shit nowadays. Bullshit, bull crap, bull pucky.
You shut down your stores too. You literally just shut down the PS3 store and PS Vita one, so people wouldn't even feel comfortable buying from your store, considering at any point in time they'd have to be like living in fear that you're going to swoop in like the boogeyman and take away the things they bought. You have a much weaker store in terms of titles than Steam, so why would they choose you? Like, yes, it is more expensive to build a PC that can handle, like, more high-end gaming, but there are solid entry-level PCs out there, and yes, while PS5 is cheaper than that right now, I imagine the PS5 prices are going to go up as well, reflective of Xbox price increase. I think that's the...
And then wait till they want to bring the 6 out. Apparently this PS6 is going to be $1,000 USD, like, minimum. And yeah, like, the PS5 never even had a generation. Like, I don't really know anything. The only reason why I kind of got the PS5, honestly, was to play Ratchet and Clank, as sad as that is, because I just loved that game as a kid. And they kind of turned it woke with that Rivet Girl, and that's just it, Give me Ratchet 1, give me Ratchet 2, give me Ratchet 3, give me Ratchet Deadlocked, That's the Ratchet. Give me even Tools of Destruction Ratchet up to A Crack in Time. That's the good Ratchet and Clank. Up to A Crack in Time and below, peak, bro, for like, because that's when it wasn't woke studios pushing ideas and doing bullcrap. But Charlie's making some banger points though, and I know I keep butting in and cutting up, and I'm new to all this. I just got a lot of stuff to stay on my mind. So, but he's very right here, and yeah, just continue watching.
Writings on the wall. There's going to be a price increase pretty soon, so eventually the gap's not going to be that big in terms of like price discrepancy between PS5 and PC. And again, PC has a much more robust catalog of games to choose from in the digital-only format with Steam. So why the fuck would anyone ever even consider shopping exclusively on the Sony PlayStation Store after you keep going scorched earth on
what I
physical...
mean, bro. Like, when you words it all like that, it's just the truth, Like, yeah, after them shutting down, I don't even know, that fumes me deep down, them shutting down the PS3 store. Because, I brought games on that. Gone, obviously, honestly, bro, I'm done with supporting any of these companies, you know. Oh, no, what's happened?
Excuse me, sir. How old were you
Sorry.
when you made your first million?
What is this for?
We're trying to get advice from.
I wasn't a
How far were we?
weaker store in terms of titles than Steam, so why would they choose you? Like, yes, it is more expensive to build a PC that can handle, like, you know, more high-end gaming, but there are solid entry-level PCs out there, and yes, while PS5 is cheaper than that right now, I imagine the PS5 prices are going to go up as well, reflective of Xbox price increase. I think that's the writings on the wall. There's going to be a price increase pretty soon, so eventually the gap's not going to be that big in terms of like price discrepancy between PS5 and PC. And again, PC has a much more robust catalog of games to choose from in the digital only format with Steam. So why the fuck would anyone ever even consider shopping exclusively on the Sony PlayStation Store after you keep going scorched earth on physical media and taking away people's products that they bought thinking that they owned them? Like, the way they're treating this shit, I wouldn't be surprised if they start going door to door, treating people that own physical PlayStation discs like terrorists. Like, excuse me, we're going to need to sweep the premises here. We need to check your house. Do you have physical discs here? We got a tip. And they just start, like, taking it physically out of your hands to make you shop at the store. A store which, by the way, is...
If someone did that to mine, came over and sat with the mic, bro, I would be knocking them out, bro. No one's stealing my games, bro. No one. No one. Like, they'll stand with me until I die. We'll pass them on to whoever, but I ain't selling them.
more expensive shopping digital only on older titles. So if you bought the physical copies for some of the games here, like this tweet illustrates, you saved money getting the physical edition on like God of War, Ragnarok, Gran Turismo, those kind of things. But now that that's off the table going forward, these games presumably are never going to get cheaper on the PlayStation Store because they're still charging full price for these older games on their store. So they're looking to even make more money off of going digital only.
So that's the thing, yeah, like you could go to EB Games back in the day, buy, sell, trade, you know, or GameStop in America, and go to the pre-owned section and yeah, you could like buy it, you know, it's like cheaper, and that's what made them. You like not paying full price for the same game on the store. That's been like, yeah, that's brutal, man. That's just fucked.
Getting physical down the line has been cheaper. Now they've fully got it by the titties here. They fully control it directly. So they never have to bring the price down because there's only digital options to choose from now. You can't get a physical edition now for these upcoming games. Thus, the price doesn't ever have to go down if Sony doesn't want it to, and it looks like they really don't want it to. Still paying full price for some of these older titles to this day. Now let's take a peek at the bright future of digital only with Sony's immaculate track record of having stores that they shut down and take away the shit that you spend your money on. This is their announcement about shutting down the PS3 and Vita store. After nearly 2 decades of supporting the PS3 console generation, we wanted to let you know we'll be closing the PlayStation Store on PS3 as well as Vita. PlayStation Store on PS3 will close in select markets starting this year, followed by global pressures for PS3 and Vita next year. That means new content purchases will no longer be possible once the PlayStation Store closes on these devices. To ease the transition, players will still be able to download previously purchased content after the closing date for the foreseeable future. As the PlayStation Store continues to evolve to support modern commerce systems, including updated payment processing standards, PS3 and Vita are no longer able to support these updates at the level required. As a result, we will need to close PlayStation Store on these devices in the time frames as followed. They then list out the time frame where eventually life support will be pulled on July 2027. That's doomsday. We know this news may be disappointing to PS3 and Vita players who hold a special place in their hearts for this generation of gaming. They represent an important era in PlayStation history. It wasn't an easy decision. As they continue to expand the PlayStation experience on newer devices most of our users are playing on today, we need to focus more resources on delivering the best gaming experience on these platforms as we look towards the future. To our amazing players, we want to give our heartfelt thanks for your ongoing passion and support, which they love to keep wiping their ass with, by the way. Thanks for all the passion and support, Sony fans. We're going to keep taking away your games, by the way, and no physical media, by the way. Thank you again. Big thumbs up. Come give us a fist bump. Which has helped inspire us to shape PlayStation into what it is today. What?
What crap.
A pile of dog shit?
That's what I mean. The fuck?
Like, it's insulting. We're
It is
excited for the future and
very
as we
insulting.
continue to push the boundaries of play. We look forward to having you on this journey with us as we explore new game worlds and new adventures that have yet to come. What a heartfelt message to the community and to gamers worldwide. Hey, you should shop with us digitally. And yes, we might just shut it all down at some point, so everything you spent hundreds if not thousands of dollars on will vanish and you have no recourse. That's just something you're going to have to live with. Why aren't you getting your wallet out? Why are you guys not shopping on PlayStation Store right now? This is exciting. This is coming from a place of passion. We're pushing boundaries here for a generational experience for our community. We're doing everything. We're bending over backwards for you bitches. You're so selfish. What? You want to own your games? Are you crazy? You want to own your games? No. You think you want to own your games, but you don't want to own anything. You want us to control it. You want us to take it away at some point. You want it digitally. Please, come on. Get in here. It's stupid, man. It's
Exactly.
so stupid.
It's so
They're
stupid.
so out of touch, it's painful.
It is.
Naturally, everyone's pointing to this with the PS4 where they showcased, here's how you share your games on PS4, and then they hand each other the physical copy and say thanks. This was a massive dunk at the time, pushing back against a lot of shit we were seeing the industry starting to do at that point already with how they were handling like sharing games and such. And this was Sony lat spreading here and making
So that's what I liked growing up as a kid, you know, because I remember not having the first Ratchet and Clank game, and I wanted to, one of my mates at my first primary school, he had a game, he had Ratchet and Clank 1, and I had other games, and he wanted to borrow one of my other ones, and done a borrow and tried it out. That's what I mean. You get to play the full game there and then, got it for a week, boom, beautiful.
disc-based games a large part of the PS4's identity, which became a big selling point at the time that really propelled it above the competitors. And they made it clear with PS4 that physical
This is
was
exactly what I'm saying. Trade-ins, sell it to, lend it to, or just keep. That's what I mean. It's like, oh, what is happening with this world? And all you broken little people walking around with your stupid suits on with carrots up your asses.
something they valued greatly, and like the importance of being able to share a game back and forth, physically passing it to one another. This was a huge successful campaign that they ran about that. So a core part of PlayStation's identity, not even that long ago, was these physical discs and being able to share the physical discs like that. Look at us
Something
now.
must be going on with like governments or people. It's a bit conspiracy, but but it has to be. They're trying to push people into owning nothing in general. So this is what I mean. Things are going up. It's just the start of it.
Look at how quickly shit's changed. And changed for the worse. Significantly worse. There are no benefits to this change. There is no one that should be excited about this, because why would you as a consumer even want to have the chance that what you bought disappears? You spent your money on it. You should own it. But you don't. And they're not even being honest with you about what you're doing. You're not even buying to own, you are renting from them. They're not even calling it what it is, which is renting. You are getting admission to this product.
That's
a
right.
license to this
See, if they just use, this is what I'm thinking about the English language is, one word means one thing, 20 different things for someone, so, it's just not clear, and yeah, it's sad, man.
product for however long they deem necessary, or however long their deals with the licensor, like in the case of the movies, lasts. But you as a consumer could very well end up with nothing, like they just take it away from you. That shouldn't be something you're okay with. Like, it shouldn't. If you are okay with it, you're wrong for being okay with it. I'm just going to tell you right to your face. That is dumb. You should own what you are spending your money on here in this industry.
Exactly. Exactly. See, at least someone thinks of fucking logic, bro. Jesus Christ.
And they're not even advertising it as anything other than you owning it. They're trying to mislead you with what's actually happening in this digital-only process. And it's just out of control. It is truly out of control. I can't, I had a hunch that Sony was going to go this direction, especially after the GTA 6 announcement. I had a feeling, I think most people kind of had a feeling in their gut, but I didn't think it would be this quick. This is a week later that they're just boldly, brazenly making this announcement that they're wiping their ass with physical media. Disc-based games, they're going to be gone soon. I thought it'd take still a couple more years before they felt confident enough to just pull the rug there and just say like, all right, it's gone. But yeah, they did it, and it really sucks. Anyway, that's about it. So yeah.
That's it's unfortunate, you know. You guys have heard me talk enough in this, so you know my opinions. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, you enjoy your day. Take it easy and peace.